Strange occurrences. I drove back from town with the radio blaring. I felt strange. There was nothing wrong with me. I didn't feel ill or anything. Just odd. I felt the way I'd used to feel all the time a few months back, when my first novel had been #1 in the International Times bestseller list. I realised this odd, pleasant sensation I was experiencing was happiness. I hadn't been happy for so long that I'd forgotten what it felt like. I hadn't been happy since. Instantly, my elation dissolved as my thoughts trailed off, and the shocking reality of the last few months came crushing down on me. I switched off the radio and drove home to my wooden cabin in total silence. I gave the old wooden door a good shove to unjam it from its ancient frame, put the paper brown parcels on the dining room table, and entered the old-fashioned kitchen through a small, compressed side door. The groceries were uncomfortable. I still hadn't got used to shopping for one. My psychiatrist had said it would take a while. After all, I had been married for 25 long years. The shopping was the easy part. Now for the hard part. The cooking. I did like to think of myself as a modern man, but somehow the mystery of cooking still eluded me. After dining on a barely passable meal, I decided to retire to the study, carefully carrying the parcels I had picked up earlier at the village post office. I gently sat them down on the large wooden desk, along with my laptop. Skillfully, I ripped open the parcels one by one. The first parcel contained a letter accompanied with a manuscript from an aspiring young author. I put it to one side. The second parcel, which was literally bursting out of the brown wrapping, was much heavier. It contained several smaller pieces of script work. I smiled wryly. They just wouldn't leave me alone. The last parcel was the smallest of the lot. It contained no note, no script, just a simple black notebook. My curiosity aroused, I eagerly flicked through the pages. The paper was slightly discoloured and gently eased through my fingers, but the book was totally empty, or so it seemed until I reached the last page. A gruesome scene confronted me. It was depicted in explicit detail and seemed to be the pure embodiment of death and decay. I was totally captivated by the sheer power of the writing, which filled me with so much dread and foreboding. It was utterly evil, but also a work of pure genius. As I finished the last sentence, I felt ill. My stomach churned and my hands were shaking. I quickly tossed the black book into the bin and put the rest of my mail to one side. My breathing eventually relaxed, and I tried to forget the incident by concentrating on my latest horror novel, but it was no use. The gruesome events which had been so cruelly depicted on the last page were so terrifying, I just couldn't get them out of my head. I couldn't concentrate. The brilliance with which it had been written, along with the sadistic tone of the words, was frightening. I felt uneasy due to the events of the evening and decided to retire to the retreat of my lavish yet understated bedroom. I woke abruptly. The room was in pitch blackness except for the log fire crackling in the hearth.